Alright traders, hope you guys started off your week on a very green and positive note. I unfortunately didn't. Here's the deal. I'm going live this week. I think this is really going to be beneficial for not only me but you. I'm going to get to work on the emotional aspect of trading. You're going to get to see more of my journey as far as going from live to paper, back to live, seeing if I've really figured out some of those kinks in my trading. I took too big of losses today, relative to what I'm taking as profit. I got to be more patient with my trading, be more disciplined, keep my stops tighter, and just realize that if nothing is really working out in my favor today, then just stop trading. And that's what I'm doing today. I should have done it a little bit earlier though, but thankfully I'm not revenge trading like my emotions are telling me to do. We're going to go live this week, guys, and I'm very, very excited. I want you to learn from an honest, a genuine, a transparent trader, a transparent journey, and in the end, we're going to succeed. And have I figured out the emotional side of trading? We'll see. The technical side I had. I was profitable under the PDT, went off the PDT, my emotions took over. We're going to see if I figured it out. And I desire for you guys to be benefiting from this as well. So please leave in the comment section below any questions or thoughts or concerns that you have. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, the market is open. All attention and hype and volume is on AXSM. I want to see how this is going to react around these resistance and support areas. I want this one to pull back to around that 620 level. I want it to sell off. If it breaks that, starts fading on off, I do suspect volume can go elsewhere. And where could that volume go? It could go on ADIL. ADIL and VTVT, these have been the stocks that have been getting all the volume and all the attention the last few days. VTVT is actually trying to get a little attention right now, but we got to keep AXSM on watch to see what that's going to do, because if AXSM starts fading on off, all the bulls are going to start flooding into a different stock. And what stock are they going to flood into is the question. My suspicion, though, is that ADIL or VTVT could get the attention. And the reason being is because the last few days, we've seen morning spike, back to trend, morning spike to trend, morning spike, back to trend. We've been having a lot of spikes, and even the last few days, been retesting these upper shadow areas. We did that on Thursday and Friday. So that means we could get that as well today. All the attention is on AXSM, but if that one starts fading on off, people are going to go to what has been working. And what has been working? ADIL, VTVT. We could be seeing a red day though. We've had several upper shadows around that $7 level. So if we're going to get in early to this, we got to keep a tight stop. If we pull up the chart on VTVT, the 250 level has been serving as very clear support on it for the last week. And then we got $3 as very defined resistance on it as well. A lot of red prints coming in on the tape. We'll see what this is going to do around these levels. It's holding fairly nicely. We could see a red to green move if this one sells on off to around that 255 level. Maybe turn around and start getting the volume. But AXSM, this is the one we're keeping a close eye on right now, as it's still sitting right around $7. AXSM, we're seeing several upper shadows to that 720 level. We could start seeing that sell-off right now, the pullback. You guys know me, I love red candles, I love fear, I love buying fear. If this comes back down to that 725 level, I will be picking this up. I could start with a starter position right around 650. If we get down to 650, I'll start with a few shares right there. All right, I added 100 shares, got in at 660. Very small right there, guys, very small. But I'm going to add a few shares into this all the way down to 620. So I'm going to be risking about 50, 60 bucks on it. If we pull up the 3-year chart on AXSM, 625 is very clear support on AXSM. That's really what I'm looking for. I want this down to 625 if it can get there. I'll look to add to this position if we can get around there. But right now, 715 is holding up as very solid resistance on it, and we had that marked off on the 3-year chart as well. Always use your daily and weekly chart on these stocks. All right, I'm picking up 200 more shares around these levels. Yes, cracking through those levels on a pretty strong note. So I'm going to have to take a loss on AXSM. It's cracking under 625 on a pretty strong note. Now it's looking like it's trying to pop up over it. Now AXSM is popping up over 625. Frustrating. I think what I'm going to do is now buy support under support, because it seems like they just crack support, take out a bunch of stop orders, and then they start moving on up. This has happened to me many more times than just once. Nothing else is really moving right now, so the longs have not come into anything else. So EPZM, this one is continuing to move on up. It's off the trend line. Trend line's back down to about $8 on this. This one is easy to short. I'm going to take a short on EPZM right around 889. TD Ameritrade actually has shorts on it. We're seeing this test that $9 area a couple times and unable to break it. I'll keep a tight stop on this. If it breaks upwards of 920, I will cut on this. I don't like how there's lower shadows right here, signifying that it is getting balled up pretty nicely. We have very clear resistance on this. That's why we're seeing the pullback right now. Well, there's a lot of buyers on it. Every time it sells off, it just pops right back up. Well, I cut there, and it's still moving on up. AXSM, this one is still sitting around that support, around 620-ish. This has not been a very good day for me so far. IZA, this one got a little spike. We went over that in pre-market, had very clear resistance right here on the 200-day, around 175. That's serving as very tough resistance on it. Hit that, started pulling back. AXSM, this one is continuing to sell off, and that's why I was very weary to even get into it. We were overextended 200%. I was trying to go long on it, but I was just looking for kind of a little scalp. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go long on this one. I was looking for a nice little bounce around 620 though. You guys know I was going over that head and shoulders. Maybe we get a little bounce back up to around the $7 area and then start fading on off. I'm a little frustrated right now that nothing is really working out for me. So with that being said, I probably should cut it all off. I'm really thinking about having a rule in place when I go live here, probably this week, is that if I lose on 2 trades, I'm done. Right now, I definitely want a revenge trade, but there's nothing from my plan this morning, that's really working on out and moving. And when I was live before, that was my problem. I just kept sniffing for trades, looking out for trades rather than focusing on my plan. So today didn't work out. I should have kept my stops even tighter than what they were. I allowed myself to lose way too much money today. Thank you, traders, so much for watching this video. I really hope you learned something. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn those notifications on because we are live every single morning at 9 o'clock, and we'll see you tomorrow.